I'm Kathleen Henderson from Roots and Boots, and this is my April garden tour. Hey there, this video is for my Seasonal Club VIP members, and I just wanted to give you a little glimpse of what is happening this month, April, in my Zone 7A garden. I'm right here in my kitchen garden, so I'll give you a quick peek at what's growing in the boxes, and then I'll show you a thing or two out in our big in-ground garden. So this box right here has spinach and radishes in alternating rows. Radish, spinach, etc. Those are doing great. I'm hoping to can some of my favorite honey pickled radishes this spring. I didn't last year. These are lettuces. I actually transplanted these lettuces. They all came up in a different box where I had lettuce planted last year. Let's see, this is green onions, but so far they're not really coming up. I don't know, those seeds might have been too old. I might have to plant something else there. And then this is the first sowing of lettuce that I did that's coming along. This is celery that I grew from seed and transplanted into this box. And over here is my overwintered spinach, and there's some chickweed growing down there. And then here I've got some onions that are not doing great. These are actually, the onions are right here in the center. They were supposed to be my red onions, but I'm gonna have to replace some of them. They didn't do great. And then I've got little baby kale coming up in here at each end, on the left and over here on the right. And then in 3 boxes, 1, 2, and 3, I have potatoes planted. Over here I've got little baby carrots coming up. You can see the little baby carrots in that entire box. That's my second sowing of carrots. And then way down here is parsley on either end with little chard seeds hopefully coming up soon in the middle. And then my shadow. This was my first sowing of carrots. They're really hard to see because they're so small. So over here across the walkway, I've got strawberries in this little bed right here. This box is new this year. The box that was here disintegrated. We use untreated wood to make our raised beds, and so you just have to figure on replacing those every so often. The other thing that happened here at this box last year was that I had planted sweet potatoes in the ground over here last year, and they loved this spot, and they basically took over and they smothered out the strawberries that I had in the previous box. The good thing is that the strawberries had produced lots of runners that actually jumped out of the box, and so like all around the box I was able to dig up all of these little baby strawberry plants and transplant them back into this new box. So this is like my strawberry box 2.0. It's the second generation. I'm not sure if I'll get berries this year, but I was glad that I had enough little baby strawberry plants to fill this box again. And then over here, I've got some thyme planted at this end of the box. I'll fill in some other herbs and maybe calendula, things like that, in these little herb boxes here. And then I have another box back there that is still empty. I'll probably do some more warm season type crops there, and I'm still trying to figure out what to do in this in-ground area here. I'm thinking about potatoes, but I had sweet potatoes here last year, and I'm just not sure that it's a good idea to follow sweet potatoes with regular potatoes, so I'm still trying to work those details out. Welcome to my far garden. That's what we call our big in-ground garden because it's far from the house. At least it feels far. It's out behind our big barn. Little bit of a walk to get out here, but this is where we grow the bulk of our big vegetable crops. I wanted to show you what's happening here in April. This is my broccoli tunnel, and I grow broccoli under a row cover because it's the only way that I have been able to successfully grow broccoli. Otherwise it just succumbs to caterpillars. There are 2 types of caterpillars. Their names escape me right now. Well, the cabbage whites are one of them. I can't remember the other one, but anyway, it grows great under the row cover. I have a separate video coming soon all about this process of growing broccoli under row cover, how to construct these hoops and what kind of row cover I use, and some tips and tricks that I have learned. Then headed all the way down to the far end of the far garden. I'll show you. A lot of the garden is still in the works. We still have some refreshing to do. We pull the weeds and then we refresh with compost before we plant or sow seeds. But down here at this end are the hugel beds that we created last year. You can see the videos on my YouTube channel. I have a video where I show how we made these hugel beds and why, and how that process worked. But I'm excited this year in these two farthest beds, I started a perennial permaculture. This is second year hugel beds. So the perennials are asparagus and strawberries. I interplanted asparagus that I grew from seed with strawberries that I got bare root. There's one type of strawberry in this bed and a second type of strawberry in the other bed. They're June bearing because that works well with asparagus. I'll have another video eventually showing how we planted these and giving you some tips and some reasons why you might want to grow asparagus and strawberries together and all of that. But anyway, I'm really encouraged at how this is going. Some of the asparagus doesn't look that great. I don't know if it's getting too much water or not enough water. This is my first time to grow asparagus, but the strawberries are doing great and some of the asparagus looks good too. So I'll keep you posted. Stay tuned to see how this perennial permaculture second year hugel bed goes. So over on the other side, the very newest part of our in-ground garden out here, we just yesterday started working on some new hugel beds. They're bigger hugel beds than I've ever done before. This one is pretty much ready for planting. The second one is still in progress. And then we're gonna take hugel beds all the way up to the top of the garden there. So stay tuned for more details about those. I'll show you how we made them, how we're making them, and what I'm planting there and how it works out. I'm really excited to experiment with these new hugel beds. And that's my April garden tour. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and definitely let me know if you have any questions at all. Just as a reminder, I'm in Northern Virginia, Zone 7A, and it is mid-April.